I have always enjoyed golf. I don't remember when it started, but back when I was young, my parents used to bring me out to our local golf courses up in the northern side of the Twin Cities, and I would caddy. So 11 years old, I want to say it was from about 11 to 14. I'd be out there hauling a bag or two on my shoulders, just trucking along with these older golfers and getting to know the courses and hear the lingo and just be comfortable on a golf course. Um, it became a pretty great place for me. I also ran cross country in high school and found that the golf courses were the funnest places to run because they were fast, they were smooth. They were beautiful. It was wonderful to get out to Goodrich Golf Course, for instance, there in the Twin Cities and run regions. There was also, of course, another par three that was local. It was called Country View on Highway 61 and Beam up there in Maplewood, Minnesota. It is unfortunately no more. It has now since become a CarMax, go figure. But that's where I would go to hit the driving range or mini golf. And I played the par three once or twice. And I also remember when I was younger too, heading out to like one of the other local public courses and just sitting there with my 8 iron, my pitching wedge, and a putter, and put on some headphones and just go at it for an hour or two. It was a great getaway. Well, that was then. This is now. I just turned 42 this summer, and life has changed a fair bit. I was living in Nebraska last year, and I got a new job offer. The offer came through in October, and I knew that I wouldn't be starting it until March of this year. So I had about 6 months there to basically, in my mind, solidify the friendships that I had from my workplace and make sure that they knew that we were friends outside of work. So to do that, I went ahead and set us up with Topgolf. Um, just a great place to go to be social, right? You've got food and drink, you've got great music, and you're just hanging out hitting some balls at the range. And you have games that you can play while you're there. So I did this once a month for about 7 or 8 months there. And we had a blast, but even after my first visit, I realized that their clubs are like their golf balls. They're basically designed so that everything is short. You can't hit their driver as long as you hit your driver, etc., etc. They need to keep the balls inside their range, right? So after my first visit, I started to bring my own clubs every time I went, and I discovered that I'm actually pretty good. My 3 wood and my 4 iron, like you can trench it with the 4 iron. Took a little work, but that trench is 215 yards. So a 3 wood going 215 makes sense, right? Like that's not ridiculous. It's a good hit, but not ridiculous. And yeah, I was able to do that. So I realized that I'm hitting it fairly straight and I'm doing pretty decent. So maybe I'm good enough to actually golf, like for real. Get out to a regular golf course, hit some fairways, not lose the ball constantly. And that's what I wanted to try. So to that end, I took baby steps over the next 2 weeks or so. This was back in May of this year, I believe. I went to one of the local driving ranges there in Nebraska, and I went to another golf course there, a public course that had a specific short game center with a massive putting green, a bunch of sand bunkers, and a specific wedge range that was great. And so I practiced out there like 2 or 3 times. I went to the regular driving range 2 or 3 times, and the regular range was different. It was really, really challenging by compare. Mats are incredibly forgiving, and I was topping it and chunking it like no tomorrow when I hit the regular range. It was a rough experience. I still remember for one of my swings, my right heel went into a divot, and like as it went into that divot, I didn't lose my balance, but I mentally went, "Wait, what?" Whiffed entirely. It was one of those just weird experiences where I stopped after all that and I'm like, how is this so hard by compared to what I'm used to over at Topgolf? Yeah, it was amusing. But I didn't give up, of course, just kept at it. And eventually I contacted a buddy of mine from work and he said, "Yeah, I can take you out." and him and a friend of his took me out to an executive 9. So I played my first ever executive 9-hole course. Tried to hit my driver a couple of times. It was okay. Um, yeah, it was good though. He helped me realize like mulligan if you need to. Who cares? It's your game. Have fun. Don't hold up the next group. Hit 2 of them. If neither are good, go up to where you saw it go out and drop. Hit from there. You know, just some basics, really simple stuff that kind of helps me with the humility side and, well, managing myself on an actual course. I had a good time. I had a great time. I hit up a couple more ranges and such, and I got in hold of another friend, and I said, if I'm going to do this golf thing for real, then I want to know my actual starting point. So we went out to Bay Hills. I've got a video on this one here on the channel, and it was rough. It was really rough. It was a bad round. I did not do good. I want to say that once you incorporate all of the lost balls, I had a score of like 130 or something of the sort. It was really tough. It was great to get out there with Chris though. He definitely showed a lot of patience that day, and he showed me what it looks like to be calm and patient on the golf course, even when you're doing bad. Um, yeah, we had a great time out there, and I set that as my benchmark of this is how good I am when I'm starting. And then I got back from that, and the following week I went out to that executive 9 once more, and I did a lot better. I want to say I shaved like 5 strokes off on just 9 holes. Like, that was pretty good, I thought. Before leaving Nebraska, I also got that friend of mine. There was one that went to Topgolf with us every single time. I also got him out for a par 3. And before I left, since I'm not moving with furniture, I'm currently at a temporary residence. Um, I'll be moving into my real place in about a week or so. I'm excited. But since I'm not moving with furniture, then I wanted to get rid of anything big. And my clubs, they were Knight clubs from like way back in the day. So mom said that they bought them at Sam's Club when I was like 15 or 20 or something. And so yeah, I gave him my clubs after that round. He had a blast, and I want to make sure that he has a chance to continue to enjoy golf. When I got here, though, moved out here to Virginia, I had no clubs, and I want to keep playing, obviously. So I had plans in place already, and I bought this set right here of Cobra Fly XL. I've got a video about that here as well. I'll link below. And I'm loving the clubs. They're a blast. I gained, actually, my 7-iron gained an extra 20 yards just because I upgraded from my old Knight blades from Sam's Club to Cobra Fly XL. Just because of the technology, I gained 20 yards. That was pretty cool. But with that, as a good baseline too, my distances. Currently, my driver goes anywhere between 250 and 260 yards. There was a 255-yard par 4 that I played actually just yesterday, and I drove the green. It was incredible. It actually, the ball landed just beyond the sand trap and rolled right onto the green. It was awesome. But yeah, so driver goes about 250 to 260 right now, and my 7-iron is a 155. So 150, 155 yard 7-iron. That's where we're starting off for distances. The biggest deal though is that I'm not consistent. I'm just not consistent. That's what has played out each of the times that I played here in Virginia. I've played one course, Windy Hills, twice, and I've played first tee of Chesterfield once. Looking at my handicaps from those rounds, as I've been scoring them generally properly at least, it shows to be about the same. My handicap is about 30 to 35 right now. So what I scored in Bay Hills is where we're starting this summer. That is humbling. Golf is a humbling sport. The big thing for me, though, is what's coming up next. And that's why I wanted to record this video. I wanted to record this as a timestamp of what this summer has been like and where we're starting from. And I wanted to also show, like, talk through it. I've been hitting the driving range regularly, at least once a week, if not twice a week, for like 2 or 3 months now. I've been playing at least 9 holes, if not 18, at least once a week now for the past couple of months. I've been putting in time, and I'm still that bad. That new, really, I guess, is what I would claim to the game. The thing that's coming next, though, is lessons. back on my birthday at the end of June, I had my first ever lesson. And let me tell you, it was weird. The instructor, he told me initially, he said, like, just show me your 7-iron swing. And I showed him, and he says, okay, cool. And he says, I want you to just hit it hard, like all out. Go ahead and hit it hard. You think you give me an extra 5 or 10 yards? I'm like, we can try. I hit it and hit a little bit, just a tinge further. And he's like, excellent. Now, don't even worry about accuracy. He says, just the hardest you can possibly hit the thing. I hit it there, and he says, okay, cool. And I want one more shot, and I just want good solid contact. I don't care how hard you hit it. Just make sure that you make good contact. And I slowed down my swing, and he says, well, what did you learn there? And I'm like, that I can hit the ball sometimes, most of the time. He's like, that it's all in your mind because you did different swings just because I told you stuff. It's all in your mind. And that's the only thing I learned at the end of that lesson was it's all in your mind. Golf is all in your mind. I had nothing to take home from that lesson. It was the most frustrating thing ever. So, useless lesson on my birthday. Yay. Just had a lesson out here, trying to find an instructor here in Virginia too. And this guy decided that he wanted to, without any impetus, he wanted to teach me stack and tilt. If you've never heard of it, there's a reason why you've never heard of it. It's because it's not standard. It's not done in the PGA. Yeah, I'm not quite sure who it would benefit or why one would want to learn it. I don't like it. It seems to take a lot of the dynamic experience of the golf swing just like out. And yeah, that was the most frustrating experience I have ever had as a student. Seriously, and I've been a student a long time. I've got 3 degrees. Like this is a new thing for me. So I'm currently seeking a real instructor, someone who can meet me where I'm at and help me get to where we want to go. And I'm expecting that the scores 30 plus handicap. Youch. Hopefully that will reduce a little bit in the future. We'll bring that down to my goal is by this time next year we'll be under 100. That's my goal. Ideally under 90 this time next year. I'm gonna keep working through the winter here in Virginia. That is possible. One of the instructors in the area that I was talking with about lessons, she mentioned that that last year it didn't get bad until January, so that's pretty hopeful. And there's some really great ranges out here that I super enjoy. So there's some great opportunities for some really good golf, and it sounds like we can go almost year round. So I'm excited for it. I hope that you are too. I hope that your summer season of golf here has been an excellent one. And yeah, we'll talk later. We'll talk the next time we get on out and get to making some progress. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.